Each day, I'm going to bring you 3 of my favorite vampire movies and 3 of the best rated vampire movies. First up, we have 30 Days of Night. Imagine living in a town in Alaska where the sun literally disappears for an entire month. It sounds pretty spooky, but for Barrow, Alaska, it's more than just like a spooky setting. It's the perfect hunting ground for a brutal clan of vampires who decide to descend upon the town just as the sun goes down for 30 days straight. The vampires are ferocious, primal, and they're not charming at all. They're here to hunt, and every night feels like a nightmare that basically never ends. The town sheriff, Eben, who's played by a Josh Hartnett, is forced to step up, basically turning each day into a desperate fight for survival. You'll feel the isolation, like the freezing cold, and the terror as the residents try to survive the bloodbath. But it's such a good movie to watch. It's one of my favorites, and next up, we're going to be doing From Dusk to Dawn by Quentin Tarantino. This one's definitely a total genre mashup. It combines crime thriller with like vampire horror in one of the most insane ways possible. It starts off like a normal Quentin Tarantino crime movie. 2 fugitive brothers are played by George Clooney and Tarantino himself. They kidnap a family and head south to Mexico, and they need to lay low basically for one night, and they end up being in a sketchy bar called the Titty Twister. But surprise, it's not your average biker bar, it's an entire vampire den. So when the sun sets, the staff and patrons transform into bloodthirsty vampires, and then the movie explodes into an all-out fight for survival. So it has everything from like holy water, guns, to improvised wooden stakes. It's gory, it's chaotic, it's fun, it's a wild ride that'll have you guessing the entire way. And Selma Hayek is in it too, so definitely worth a watch. Let me know how you like that one. And for our third and final movie, we're going to talk about Blade. It came out in the 90s. It stars Wesley Snipes. He is a half human, half vampire hunter with like a very serious style. He has like an arsenal of weapons designed for one purpose: to take down the undead. So Blade was born with all the strengths of vampires, but none of the weaknesses. So he can go out in daylight, and he's got basically a personal vendetta against the vampires who threaten humanity. So the film starts with one of the best opening scenes in, I feel like, vampire movie history. A blood-soaked rave that Blade crashes with his iconic leather coat and sunglasses. That scene was honestly one of the best, and it got me so started into the Blade movie series. The action was so intense, and the martial arts were pretty slick too. And Blade's vampire nemesis was there as well. His name is Deacon Frost. He's definitely the perfect charismatic villain. So the movie isn't just like a normal vampire flick, it's like a superhero film, a martial arts extravaganza, and like a gothic thriller. So it's definitely amazing, and it's definitely worth a watch. I think there's 3 in total. And there's 3 in total Blade movies, so they're definitely each worth a watch. And then each of these different vampire movies we went through gives us a different take on them, from survival horror to action-packed battles, even to a chaotic bar crawl. Let me know which one's your favorite. Drop a comment below, and then get ready for part 2, where we'll dive into even more vampire mayhem.